Hey guys, this is your Jumba. Welcome to the channel. On this channel, for those of you who are regular viewers, you know we always talk about propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, and other tactics that politicians use to govern the masses. You cannot be able to control people if you do not have the power of information over them. You must be able to control information, how it is distributed, what is distributed, when it is distributed, on which channels, for you to be able to govern a people. And this is not a Kenyan problem. This is a global problem, whether it is the US government, which is fighting to control their people. You can see how they went after TikTok. You can see how the UK has been fighting with the internet companies in an effort to basically suppress how information moves and how it is distributed. So you can even see the UK government has gone after children under 16. They are no longer allowed to be to have internet accounts. So the whole idea is because it has become very difficult for governments to suppress people, to oppress people, because people have information on the palm of their hands 24 hours a day on their mobile phones. Ukiamka saa 8 usiku, you know what is happening in Panama, and you are in Kihunguro, in Ruiru, okay? And in 2013, we witnessed high-level propaganda targeted against ODM presidential candidate Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. In 2013, ilikuwa inaitwa nini? 2013 ilikuwa inaitwa CORD, Coalition for Reforms and Democracy, but still it was ODM. Baba was the presidential flag bearer. Na hiyo time, I remember very well, kulikuwa na siasa kali sana, watu wa Uhuru Kenyatta, TNA, but it was TNA then. Kulikuwa na propaganda, watu wanasema ya kwamba, especially here in Murima, walikuwa wanasema ya kwamba tutavalishwa kinyasa. I remember that propaganda. Tutavalishwa kinyasa Baba akichukua usikani. If Baba becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya, each and every Kenyan is going to be made to wear a pair of shorts. Hakuna kuvaa trousers tena, longi zitachukuliwa na serikali zichomwe, kila mtu apewe kinyasa, akuwe mtumwa na mfungwa wa nani? Wa Baba. That is an example of propaganda. Sadly, however, time and again, we see how Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, or we saw how Baba Raila Amolo Odinga and his ODM supporters move every time they got into power. We saw that with the government of national unity in 2008. Baba alipokuwa prime minister, watu wake wa ODM walikuwa literally wanatutemea mate when they were in government. In 2018 with the handshake, we saw it with akina Junet, akina Mbadi, akina all these people who surround Baba. They were insulting Kenyans mbaya sana because they were in power. And right now we have seen it. Hata juzi recently, it was Samuel Atandi akiambia goons, so wamekuwa wakilipa goons watoke nje wapige wa supporters wa opposition, wapige Gen Z ambao wanaenda maandamano, lakini after sasa PS Fikirini Jacobs wa ODM amepiga Cecil Ouma goon wake ndani ya gari after ameenda kuambia waongeze pesa. Sasa Atandi ametoka nje, amekuwa mkali, amesema wewe tafadhali, wewe kama ni goon sitaki kuona ukihang kando ya gari yangu, sitaki kuona ndani ya gari yangu, kama unataka kuniona book appointment omera, book appointment. The jokes write themselves. Listen to Dr. Oburu Odinga, who is the older brother of former Prime Minister, the late Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, as he spoke on State House on the 9th of July 2026.
Here is very transformative, just like the other ideas we have been toying around with, like this affordable housing. We have been in government. I was an assistant minister in finance. We tried to move, but private interests around who want to benefit from small infrastructure which does not move the country anywhere. Always come in to put pressure on government not to move. And sometimes then there is too much democracy. There should be some little benevolent dictatorship so that some things can move. Huh? Mr. President, I don't want to say that you should be a dictator. I'm not saying that. But some of these things, like the social health fund, the SHA, I think people who are criticizing it don't know what, they don't go into details of what is happening. They don't know exactly what is happening. It's a very, very big transformation towards what we have been calling universal health care. We have tried, many governments have tried to introduce universal health care, and there is no other move which is nearer to the universal health care in this country than the SHA. We have covered now more than 30 million Kenyans have registered for SHA. And we have tried it before. We have tried to move on those directions. And we have not been able. We have not been able, Mr. President.
Dr. Oburu Odinga is asking President Ruto to become a benevolent dictator. And this, as you are aware, very well aware, my viewers, from what I told you in the first segment of this video, of this episode, this is the problem with ODM and the leaders inside ODM. Whenever they find themselves in a position of power, they lose their minds, and whatever it is, the values that they pretend to espouse, the values that they pretend to go around the country telling people in chama cha demokrasia, ODM, Orange Democracy Democratic Movement, nanini, all those things go out of the window because wako ndani ya power. Kiona Oburu Odinga anasema tunataka power. It's exactly what we mean. This is what you have watched Dr. Oburu Odinga talk and telling President Ruto that he should be a dictator. Believe it or not, that is not a slip of the tongue. Ile sio mistake. Those were the things that were written for him. Because believe it or not, in State House, Dr. Oburu Odinga does not come and say his own things pale. Huyo ni mzee mnamuona, he's 84. Hata akili yake haifanyi kazi vizuri. So akifika pale wanamtengezea speech ama notes wanampatia, wewe utaongelea kuhusu hii maneno. Na wakamwandikia hapo, maybe we need dictatorship. Na because mzee wa watu hapa ndani ni uji imebakia saa hii, whatever is left of his degenerating brain. Anakuja hapo kutuambia ya kwamba maybe President Ruto needs to be a benevolent dictator. It is not a mistake. It is not a slip of the tongue. This is a highly coordinated attempt at taking over this country unconstitutionally by President Ruto. And that is why munaona kama kitu by election ya Olkalau, he is threatening to cancel it because he knows he's going to lose it. At maybe there is too much democracy. What do you mean there is too much democracy? But then even if Baba was in power today, believe it or not, guys, believe it or not, it will have been even worse than that. Ile propaganda ya 2013 ya Kinyasa was not propaganda, it was a fact that if these people get into power, they are going to oppress, these ODM people are going to oppress Kenyans even more than what, in fact, what this affordable housing zote watazigeuza zikuwe gulags. If you've heard of gulags, That is where they take a whole people from a whole village or a whole community. Mnaenda mnafungiwa in one place and you become slaves, prisoners. That is not a mistake. Those are notes that have been prepared for him by State House. And each and everything is propaganda, like I began by telling you. Kuna mtu hapa anajaribu kucheza propaganda ya ku take over this country unconstitutionally, and that is why each and every day we are seeing new and new brazen attempts and brazen words being said by these criminals in high office. You guys, I am going to Olkalau to cover that by-election. Support me by sending M-Pesa to 0799428109. Fund me to bring you the election, by-election coverage ya Olkalau. This is your Jomba Mobili Mogodi. Asanteni sana. Continue the conversation in the comments. Like these videos. Please share them with your friends and family around the world. Asanteni.